good night, people. Christmas is in the air. You understand? So, people, it's Friday. Happy Friday. We hope everyone had a safe, productive, and enjoyable week. So, it's Friday. It's Real Talk Live. It's inflation, nothing. Right? People, don't forget the inflation, nothing. Friday is still running. Right? And today, you all know what happened today? You all missed out. We had ham and cheese sandwiches as well as grilled chicken sandwich. It was delicious. So big up to Sonali, who's not in us yet, but you shouting her out, job well done as usual. Sandwich was nice. Right, so there's people who didn't taste it, but they say they placed in the order already for next week, Friday. So people, every Friday from now, you'll miss out today. So don't worry, it have more Fridays in the year. Yeah, it have more Fridays in the year. You don't need to miss the next Fridays. The other Fridays coming up. You can get your ham and cheese or your grilled chicken. Or you can get the two. If you want to taste out, you want a little ham or you want a little chicken. Alright. And, Christmas is in the air. So, you have to prepare yourself. Some of us are not all the big cooks, right? Some of us are not big bakers. So if it is a no, you're busy, or you're not a big cook, you're not a big baker. WhatsApp us to place your orders first. Honey glazed ham and roasted turkey.
Correct.
Right? So it have the ham lovers and it have the turkey lovers, right? So Lion then have his ham and I then order my turkey. Right, so we have ham, turkey, right? And of course we have the cakes, the black cake. So for the black cake lovers, we have black cake.
It's a black cake lovers
then
there.
For people who don't like black cake,
the black cake
for people who don't like the black cake, I don't know why. It has sponge cake. We did not forget yours, right? So we know some people just really love a sponge cake, right? So the choice is yours, and if it is a feel you want it to, eating everything, well, you could order your black cake and your sponge cake. You could order ham and turkey. That is all up to you. And Lion did ask if it is, you go have a little, discount somewhere, a little, deal now, right?
Correct.
So we know that times are tough, right? We understand that. We know that you're, just really trying to either you want something for yourself to eat if you're bachelor in it out, or you may really have a family, but your life is very hectic and you may not have the time, right? Feel free. Burn Team Global Limited is here, right? And Sonali, she is doing a wonderful job at the food, right? So get her cakes and all. Besides having sandwiches on a Friday, people, you can also get your carrot cake and your chocolate cake squares, right? Nice squares. It's not a thin thing, so you could actually cut it in four and share it. Like if you want decent, you can still cut it in four and get decent slice of cake from the square, right?
And then after you do aerobics to work out on.
But they have to take in front before in front take you. That's the saying goes, right? So Monday to Thursday in the new year, next year, 2023. Thinking about some, new things to come now, right? We always have to, change things up a little bit. Some persons may be, interested in a little something different, right? So we are looking at it. We are listening to everyone, and we know Carnival season coming around after the Christmas. And people can eat out the house. We know that you all want to fit in a costume for Carnival, right? So if it is, know that. You can start from on now, say, hey, well, there, I have a goal here, bam, bam. And Christmas kind of early now, right? So, here my Christmas, Carnival is early, right? Christmas on my mind here now. I only hear kind of pork and all kind of things. So, Christmas still, but Carnival is will be right around the corner. So, you all know. Right, so we starting off live because this topic
Hmm.
tonight for real talk is a very serious topic, eh? Very, very serious.
So people, um, if you're now joining us, this Real Talk Live is a serious topic. We want to hear your guys' views, and Chica would be the long-winded one, so I'll give her the floor. I'd like to hear your guys' views on is all leaders doing enough for the crime of pedophilia, which they have now changed. They have now re-described what that is. So, Chica, what do you think? What is your view?
Well, before we came onto the live, I said, we were in talks because it have some countries that actually they don't have a sex offenders registry, right?
Right.
And it's only recently in Trinidad and Tobago that came into play. So I just decided to go. I never really look at it. I don't know if to say I didn't feel the need to, but I did go and check out what our sex offenders registry looks like. And of course, it plays that you shouldn't share the information, all these sort of things. The information is out there, but basically, don't use the information really against the person. I'm guessing, but we know that there are many, many more sex offenders. When I checked, it's only 11 persons who were registered as sex offenders in Trinidad and Tobago, right? There were no female sex offenders listed there, but I am sure that there are female sex offenders. Now, in different states, different countries, they have three, I will say categories. It's called tiers, right? But are using categories because people might have a better idea of the categories, right? So it have category 1, category 2, category 3. Now, the question begs, who is to be placed on this sex offenders registry? And, we would like you, the people, to let us know what sexual offenses do you think someone should be registered for? It starts all from indecent exposure. It can be somebody just go out in the middle of the road and decided to show of themselves. It could be just somebody masturbating in public. It could be so many different things. Hi, Sonali. Good night.
Evening, all. Hi.
Right, so it's a serious topic, and I will take a break now from talking because I've been talking a little while now, and letting everyone know that the sandwiches were really nice today. Sonali.
Nice.
So I done do all big advertisements and all kind of things. And I done start off. So let us know. And I was just saying, I don't know if you ever had a look at the Sex Offenders Registry for Trinidad and Tobago, but it's scanty, and I know it have more people to go on it, basically. So what are your views
to me, for Trinidad and Tobago, our Sex Offenders Registry is almost non-existent. Not that it's scanty, is non-existent, because most people, you would hear, okay, this one is a sex offender, this one has done rape, they raped either a stranger, the daughter, something. And majority of the time is either they got posted out on bail, right? And then after that, they are not really placed on the registry. There's such a backlog, and most people are so, I don't even want to say lenient, because even lenient will mean that you actually care about doing the work. They blatantly just don't care. Because the moment that person is posted out on bail, they're going to be, oh, well, they're on bail, and then on top of it too, they have a restraining order on them. So, they may not do it again. But I know for other countries, and so for the moment you do it once, your name is automatically entered for your state, for your area, your county, you must report to a certain group, you must report to the police station, and things like that. But for Trinidad and Tobago, it's almost non-existent. And majority of the people that they do have on it are people like from cases from really long ago, or persons who may have been caught molesting or raping someone of extremely young age, like maybe a baby, a toddler, something like that. So to me, Trinidad and Tobago is like very extremely lax, really lax.
And yeah, when I looked at it, the cases, really, the persons who are on the registry, they are starting from 2020 to 2022. That's 2 years and listed there. That is not it. There are persons who would not have even made bail and they are not on it. And as I was just saying, it also have women, so only have the men. It doesn't have the female sex offenders on that registry. So I mean, while they don't share the information and all the things that they gather from it, right? I mean, people may not think, no, they had an advanced search, but of course, I mean, I can't really think of nobody who named to just put in and see if it is their name, come up, right? That is suspect. Because, sometimes somebody may be new to the community and they want to know where this person come out. It has some people, let's have a look.
Yeah, they do. And most communities will
they
do
may
something
want to
like
have
that. Or if not, I know from where one of my cousins live in the state of Philadelphia. The moment this person is moving, the place that they move to, they must report to the police station, and then the residents in the neighborhood is alerted that, hey, this person is a yellow level sex offender, or they're an orange level sex offender, or even red. So people are in the community, sometimes they don't even have to go and search. They actually get alerted that you have a sex offender living, and they literally pinpoint the radius in which they live from you. So especially communities that have a lot of children or close to a school, they do not play with that. So implementing something like that here will be so wishful, but
of course, in some communities, because if it is people in the home not even reporting cases of rape, sexual abuse, or anything of that sort, then what is left for the community? And it really starts at home, right? It really starts in the home. And of course, most of the times, people know their abusers. They know the persons who raped them. Most of the cases, that's what it is. It's hardly it's randomness. It's hardly likely, right?
No, that is so true. But here in our country, the culture is like, don't let nobody on the outside know. Everything is always want to be hush hush or hidden away, which is not the way to go. You need to have this alerted. You need to bring this out in the open. And keeping it hush hush does more harm.
Andy, hear what, you're late, right? Because Big Brother was on earlier. Yeah, so you miss him. He will be back on. Don't worry. You just ain't coming in time to see him. Right. So Lion just posted where it have the offenders classification: first degree sexual abuse, second degree forcible rape. I'm seeing so many different things here. So now when I was looking at it, it have the, as you will say, the yellow level. Right? We could call it yellow level, we could call it category 1, right? Those are things like sexual offenses against someone who is not a minor. Right? So that's basically it. Or just in public, as I was just saying, somebody might be masturbating in public and they will consider that a yellow level. Then we have the orange level, or the category 2, which will be sex with a minor, but more like between the ages of 12 to 15, sorry. And it could be a second offender as well for the first category, right? Because then you do it a second time. So you're up in, right? So that's what will happen, right? And then the red level or the category 3 is where it is. Everything is forced. You cause grievous harm. Because right now we have some persons on the registry that is considered a category 3. So like things like buggery, that is definitely category 3.
Yeah.
Right? And then it goes again minus persons who are unable to give consent, persons with disabilities who have mental illnesses and so forth. Now we will see, because I have, of course, we down on the street and be like, people be like, who bred that woman? Yeah, you know that. You all know that person that's right in the head, right? So they're actually saying in some states that is actually an offense. Now, while it says we know that they have feelings too, just like everybody else. But then there are some person who physically, who really can't, and mentally unable to really give that consent, right? And I know a lot of them who are really unable to give that consent, and then some people, they prey on them. So they have that feeling, they have that desire, and they don't know how to control it, and another person will know that and prey on
and take full advantage of it
themselves for that. Trafficking, all of those things, those are category 3 offenses. Creating child porn, I will never even put that in the videos to, sell whatever it is they are doing with it. Now they say watching child porn is actually category 1, I believe, but to me that should be all of you, because when they have the thoughts of it, just thinking about doing it, or sex with minors. Now, what may happen is it have some, let us say somebody is 19 years, right? Or let us even say 20, and they are in a relationship with somebody who is 15, 16. It has some situations where they charge that 19-year-old or 20-year-old quick, faster than they actually charge someone who is in their 30s, 40s, who would have raped somebody under the age of 15. And I really don't get it. Now, this morning it don't make any sense. Because when you look at the age, now some people will say age is just a number. You see, when it says 18 years and over, okay, whatever you decide. But you have to know what it is you're doing when you're over that 18, when you're over 18. Seriously, because wherever luck or fortune the other person had, you wouldn't have it. You really wouldn't have it. And we know that a lot of school girls got pregnant by much older men, or the taxi drivers. And we know that they were much older. And what happened? Nothing. It have even in some communities, the parents know, oh, this person maybe have money, the family have money, so they don't do anything about it. And the good thing is that they end the child marriages, as they would have just married them off. And that's what is happening. They don't report at all.
But you see, the thing about it is, like I say again, if it was a person, like I said, 19, 20, and they went with a 15-year-old, because of that age group, and they will say, oh, because they're young, they will say the boy take advantage or something. But because as a grown man, maybe late 30s, early 40s or something, it automatically becomes as if the parents are ashamed they're angry when it's a young boy, but they're suddenly shameful that the daughter got pregnant for a fully grown man who maybe just working taxi or a maxi conductor, something. There's a serious, you notice it. You really do notice it. Anger for the younger ones, shame for when it's a grown person. And that's why they don't do anything. And this is a parent who really care, and they want to be like, oh my God, you took advantage of my daughter, or my daughter Muzzy didn't have the common sense and she hurt or whatever. But you self, you're a grown person, then they may have some anger. But most parents, most guardians, they want to hide and they want to feel shame, because all of a sudden they're going to believe the neighbor's going to point and say, watch how you have your child and this is that and that. When it is the other way around, the young person is a sudden anger.
And the thing is, things are changing a little bit now. I mean, even before it would have had some parents, it didn't have any shame. They felt very comfortable because they don't do like long time where they send them off by some auntie in some country, because that's what they would have done long time. Or they really hide it and they keep the child and they say it's their child, because we know a lot of cases like that where the child thinks that their grandparents are actually their parents. Right? So I'm seeing Lion is back in. Lion.
Moving. Very sensitive conversation. So we're looking at it from all viewpoints. When we hear about sex offenders, the ladies tend to get up in arms, but there are always different sides and angles to look at stuff. So we go ahead and look at a video. And when we come back, you all will give me a little insight into what you all think. Because I don't know if we believe in the rehabilitation aspect of this particular scenario. What I've seen when coming to this is that person or persons get classified into one, even though it have different classifications under the law, in the minds of men and women. From the moment you get classified in this particular thing, as my grandmother used to say, no amount of water can wash it open. Right? So we might say it have rehabilitation for a thief, or somebody who committed a violent crime, or somebody who was selling drugs even. It's an interesting thing. People will understand somebody would come up and speak about selling drugs for years, poison, killing man, woman, and child. But somehow they have redemption, They could go in jail and be rehabilitated, and you say, okay, you used to kill people, right? But we find some way in our heart that he could actually be rehabilitated. But from the moment it's something like this, so we'll take a look at this particular vibe. So let's take a look and tell me what all you think about it. Interesting vibration. Will you talk live?
Missouri Sex Offender Registry and asked us not to reveal his identity. His legal trouble stemmed from a high school relationship with an underage girl.
It's so unfair that when you fight that situation for a year and a half, that the head of the public defender's department will come down and tell you to shut up and take what you got coming to you.
He plans on fighting to have his name removed from the list. A change in Missouri's law establishes a 3-tier system for sex offenders and allows the ones with less serious offenses to petition a court to have their names removed.
I think there are going to be thousands of people who are going to fall into this Tier 1 list.
The Clayton law firm of Frank, Youngel, and Radefeld handles many cases involving offenders seeking to remove their names from the registry.
Oftentimes these people don't even have a conviction on their record because they may have received a suspended imposition of sentence on a misdemeanor.
The most common complaint he hears from offenders is no one will hire them.
I have a few buddies that throw me something here and there whenever, it's some out of the way, nobody knows kind of work, not going to see me. My name don't have to be on anything. I might be able to make $100 that day.
Or they can't go to their child's school plays because, that school district has said, no, you cannot step foot on this property.
Oh, yeah. It can definitely ruin your life without a doubt.
Radefeld supports the change because the new law will still keep those with the more serious offenders on the list for their lifetime.
What are your thoughts, Natalie?
The only thing I could see maybe a sex offender's name being removed for is maybe public misconduct or something. That is the only thing I maybe could see a sex offender's name being removed. Only for that. Public misconduct. That is the only thing. Anything else, whether sex with a minor, consensual, forcible, I'm sorry, but your name needs to stay on that list.
Now, I'm going to be what letters call it the devil's advocate, right? So based on my experience, even in school days, and now, what I'll say, persons ages 16 and up, if it is, let's say a person over the age of 18, maybe let's say a max of, I don't know, there's maybe like a max of, I don't know if to say 8 years, 10 years max difference. If it is, their names can be removed. I don't know what the limit will be because I know if somebody is maybe 19 and the person is 16, it's just that. It's not much very difference, right? But I think they could have a limit. So especially for persons 16 and over, not 15, not 14, but more specifically 16, 17, that it have a ceiling for the age limit where it says somebody's name can be removed from the sex offenders list for actually having sex with a minor. Because in truth and in fact, there are some 16-year-olds who look a whole lot more mature than us.
Yeah.
I don't know where they get. Some of them they may have been abused as a child, and that would have led to maybe their experiences and this whole promiscuity. So they have a different look, a different energy coming from them. So some men may not even recognize it, and they wouldn't know because as someone they really look much older, right? If it is a wax ID, I mean, you might have to reach as far as saying, let me say ID, or let me say birth certificate, right? And hopefully it is not some false documentation, because we know that some persons do create false IDs, right? So on this saying, I believe that child marriage is the biggest form of abuse, right? We know, of course, long time in some cultures, even we don't know how old was the Virgin Mary. Just throwing it out there. But I'm just saying that, yes, child marriage, they have so much ahead of them. Biologically, when it is, of course, a woman starts seeing her menstrual, we know that eggs are being released, and the body, it may not be, let us say, fully developed, but it's the person that young woman can become pregnant, right? That's just the reality. A lot of us, our greats, our grandmothers, our great whoever, we know that some of them would have had started having children when they were 12, 13. It didn't make it right, but we know that
Granny start early in the dance.
We know that is when it was. We know because my grandmother, she was 12 going on 13 when she had my first son. We not saying that it made it right, that it was right, but we know biologically that's what it is. But it still have time for the mind to develop, and we have so many opportunities. So a lot of things to experience. I don't know what was the difference long time that they never used to make it a problem.
Ladies and them running wild boy and me boy with this topic, I think the way we categorize what we're dealing with, I should always, you see, this is a very touchy, as well, I think, it's a touchy situation. But I would always try to look for the root cause of any situation. And I think the justice system really kind of lump deviant behavior and the reality in one. So deviant behavior is some of the things they classify as level 1 or whatever, right? So to put everything under the same umbrella is a bit unfair. And that's why I would say that, because I believe that persons who really are sex offenders in that child aspect, big up Kavir on the inside, man. Much love. You like yourself today. Right? It is a mental. It should fall under mental. That's a mental disease. So to put somebody who acting deviantly, right? Yes, Kavir, big up yourself. You're saying hi, Mr. Right?
I didn't like Kavir.
But deviant behavior might be a teenager masturbating, whatever, right? And you see him in the toilet. The school days, the school. So you have grown people who do deviant acts. Same thing. Might be in a park, he might go on a bench and hear his own self with the vibration, right? Deviant. But to put that on that sex offenders umbrella, I think they need to be a little more clear, so that when you're painting something with a broad brush. Because ladies just have deviant behavior outside. Just deviant. It's not to the extent of somebody going into a store and picking up a candy bar and pushing it in their pocket, as opposed to a man coming armed with an assault rifle, right? And so it's you can't paint. It come like it's citizen. It come like painting behavior with a broad brush. So that sex offenders list should be for persons who convicted for child abuse, and you make sure that they feel the full brunt of the law. And the thing is, we don't have any kind of consequence. What you have is jail time and you go on a list. And if somebody has a mental disability, I will go as far as to say, because the way I went online and looked at some child molesters who came out and spoke about how did this feel, how did this pick. I went and looked at the behavior. And my grandmother was 15. You watch Black Adam in school today. Big up yourself, Kavir. Love up yourself in school. Watching movies, man. It is a mental condition, right? So I am saying that persons with a mental condition would be treated differently than a person who acting deviantly, right? All the young boys in school used to get mirror and skate it underneath the teacher dress. That is deviant behavior. But rape, you know what I mean, Chika? Rape is something.
Yeah, I understand. Like buggery and rape and even creating child pornography and trafficking and all that.
I mean, that is mental. So it falls under mental health. And then there is no consequence. So here's the thing. When you have a clear consequence for people who abuse children, it would help deter people from receiving that consequence. Chika saying castration. So in some countries they do castrate, and that's the interesting thing, eh? In some countries like Thailand and China, certain parts of China, for men who rape is a castration, but they have a chemical castration. So it is not Chika saying chop off. So you see the difference, Andy? We trying to keep the thing. Yeah, there is no chopping off of any members. It is a chemical castration, and that's
Yes,
it.
I know.
And I believe that should be across the board. So the list, half the time employers don't really go on the list unless it's certain part of the states and have the look, you know what I mean? But I'm saying for Caribbean third world and moving forward, when you're convicted, for child molestation or rape or whatever you want to call it, you're getting chemical castration. And then we setting you free. We don't want to lock you up. We wanted to go and see all we can. And then if we catch you again, we're using something else that we're supposed to use, then it's life. So you see, in the reality, that the one strike. So the first strike is chemical castration. And if you try to use a dildo on a whole long lady, then that's like a life sentence without parole. Right? Because them is the measures that would make people think, even it could be in your brain, you know. But once you know it have a consequence, it would now deter you from going on that path. And for the deviant behaviors, I think, well, you know, you should deal with it accordingly because, you know, again, and the guys who deal in 17, you know, 17 are the good at it. You see,
Yeah.
you can't paint that with a broad brush. 17 good at 18, and it's only because the law now state 18 is legal. Whereas back in the day, if the arranged marriage is agreed upon by the parents, the age doesn't matter.
Those
You know,
child marriages, it didn't matter. That's why
so yeah, in India, it still goes on in India. It goes on in China. So again, arranged marriages, it goes on in Syria, it goes on in Lebanon. You know what I mean? So once the families come together and make that decision, there is no law. No? So it's only in our Western society we have the 18 and the 21 for drinking and that type of thing. You know, so all of you, I believe in the chemical castration as a consequence. And from the moment two of them get chemically castrated, I think they will start to think about the era of the weeks. You know what I mean? Tell us. Andy, you don't what are you harm on your turkey, boy?
With the chemical castration, yeah, you could do it. But I also said do it and beat the hell out of them too with it. I say beat them with seriously beat, because I know for once you go Golden Grove or even this Carrera is the one that's off island. You know, once other inmates find out, hey, you rape a child, you bugger a little boy or any boys or something, the guards turn their back and you just collect whatever beating. Hopefully they don't beat you to death, and you know, you just you take that. And most sex offenders, if they do manage to serve out their sentence in a certain amount of time and they get out at a certain age, most of those sex offenders don't do it again, you know. It's the ones who I believe the ones who actually get out on bail, those are the repeaters. Because the moment, and especially in our country, the moment you enter Golden Grove or Carrera, that's it. Once these other prisoners find out, hey, all right, so you like to do this to little children. And worse yet, I've heard of stories. I remember a time in school, they actually had prisoners come in, women and men coming in our school to speak to students, especially the Form 4s and the Form 5s. And they gave us a very graphic detail of what they do to men that rape or bugger babies and toddlers. And trust me, I honestly believe those who get out on good, maybe good parole or whatever, they ain't doing that again. So I was saying
there must be some consequences, and it must be harsh because
there will be consequences.
they will do it again.
Chemical castration, yes, but I say go ahead and beat the crap out of them because we saw the results of what it does, and we know the ones who are out on bail, they continue to do it. They may not get caught, or they might learn to do it better without getting caught, but they go back doing it. What bail could do, anybody could take but you don't take a loan, but most of them, they pay off their bail in parts. And if they can, it's only if those who absolutely cannot pay the bail at all, that is when they sit in jail until whenever they could pay it off or have family members pay it off. So the ones who actually do get convicted and go, who are arrested in their little jumpsuits, they learn the lesson. They totally learn it.
So Andy is saying that he has the right way to deal with the men who like to rape. Hang them in public and burn it bit by bit. Now, let us not forget, it's not only men who are sex offenders, but there are female sex offenders as well, right? And I mean, something needs to be done to these ladies as well. I don't know exactly what it is.
They know they get it as well. They the things that the women does get, they get it as well.
So I hear Sadali, this is interesting. When I hear Sadali talk about, when you go to jail. So for those who are family members and persons in the system, I would say that is not true, personally. According to who you know in the jail, these guys sometimes they will buy the protection. And according to who running the jails at the time, and according to who they pay, it have a lot of sex offenders, especially people who involved in that buggery, because it goes on in the jail. What people don't understand, sex offense goes on in the jail. People have this weird view, like that people have this weird view. Oh, when you go in jail, and the prisoners, you realize they don't honor. Listen, the only prisoners realize they used to bugger people. Listen, that's going on in the jail. They have no honor. They don't honor among prisoners. Oh, this one coming for buggery, so the guards going on to them. Listen, they don't work so. It's who have money, right? So what happens is when you go in remand yard, when you're in remand, right? And we call it Raymond like it's a male name. So we just say that we call in remand yard now. Like if it's a male, like a human being, it's remand. Yeah, that is a holding facility. So you're in remand. You have not been sentenced to hard jail as the Carrera or Golan Grove. You're in remand. So that means you go to remand and then you go get your case, then back to remand. You're in remand, you're in a holding facility. That's what remand yard is. From the moment you're in remand, it have men that run remand yard, right? They don't go in and know everything about you. And you're going to have to pay. Irregardless, you're going as a sex offender, buggery, child, rapist, murderer, drug dealer, gang member. If the right person is running the jail or the holding center, and you make sure and the right person, you could go in there for rape intention and they can't touch it. I can't tell you that no. So people have this weird perception that when you go in there, it have this honor and this code that they go in and get the justice because the prisoners is going to know. The prisoners is controlled by men and controlled by certain persons who would say if they could touch that person or not. Right? You have to get permission to touch that person. When you reach Golan Grove, it have a hierarchy. You can't just touch somebody like that. And what most of the time is interested in somebody, the systems in the penal system, is that they like to use men who like to have sex with men. Because then they will rope them in the gang. And when it's time to carry out an act like that, they will use the fellas who like to do it. They won't use somebody who is not turned on by the act. If you understand what I'm saying, Chica, you would
Yes.
use males who like to do that as the angels of vengeance when it is you want to make call a shot, as we say in Trinidad. Right? So it is only if it's a lone wolf in there. But most of the time, these guys have been doing this for a very long time. They're not the same bad boy on the block. They hooked up with the same elements. And most of the time, when certain deeds need being done, when you're outside, you would need a gentleman who enjoys doing that to carry it out. Because a straight man wouldn't enjoy doing that to another male, but a male who does that, they would use. So we have to be a bit, we just turn a blind eye when we really don't understand certain aspects of this world. So there are a lot of rapists in jail raping women and walking around in jail because they're hooked up with the right people. There are no justice like that in jail. Jail is jail. Right? Jail is not no place where because you rape a woman. You know people that be saying that? Oh, when
Yeah.
rapists in jail, you gotta get permission. You can't just touch a man. And worse yet, according to it have men who like men who hooked up in the right places in the jail. And if the man like you, no man can touch you. And then you will get preposition. And if it is really rolling with the team, we make an example and then you go do what it is. We see. So that hidden poetic justice is just a figment of our imagination. That is what that is. What we should do is have the right laws in place so that they can actually have a proper consequence, I think. Because it always beating the system, you know. It have men murdering people and beating the system. You know what I mean? It have people murdering people and
Yeah.
have good buyers and they're out on bail in a month. Right? So,
True.
the system, it should have a clear consequence so that it would just, as a deterrent. So don't even end up there because they're going and inject you and then send you wherever. So it's an interesting vibration. It's a deep topic. Chica or no chica, you know. So Nali, I know you want to scalp them and hang them up high. But as the video you saw before, deviant
Yeah.
behavior shouldn't be
And
classified in the same
yeah, same bracket. No, it shouldn't.
because because yesterday when you get your 2 ticket, because you like to do whatever you want on the road, right? You
One
would not
ticket.
like that. You see, I just right? Because you like to do it on the road. You get, this applies. You see, when not when we talking about the child molestation, we can take aside. But when we deal with home with us, we can understand. So like when you get a 2 ticket, you want the punishment to match the crime, right? So year one, you run a red light, right? You get a ticket for a red light. But then the police come, lock you up, carrying carrying a holding cell and give you a punishment for third-degree murder and also. So the punishment had a match the crime regardless of where your feelings, people is talking about feelings. The punishment had a match the crime. If you're jaywalking, you don't want a punishment for running a stoplight. Your seatbelt
Yeah.
off. You want the ticket for the seatbelt. You know what you're asking me? What the ticket is for? The seatbelt off. If the man hand you the officer hand you a ticket for breaking and entering 3 years and well, you're going to tell the magistrate it's not fair. And we put your name on crime watch. We blast you up. And that is what it is.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is, you know. If it's deviant, you demand right. If it's that, you demand the right punishment. Because if you run a red light, you don't want to end up on crime, much like you are a big thief. And then look, watch you on the camera. And they blow you up. And when you reach to work, now you get a warning letter. You can't go to work. And every day you trying to get next work now. They only showing it. And that was the girl on crime watch. What should I do again? That is exactly how it is. So let the punishment match the crime. If the man rape, chemical castration, I find they could bring back the little birch, you know what I mean? The little cat and nine, let them get 2-3 little whip and let them feel the pain. You understand? If it is a rape, feel the pain, I'd have no problem with that. But you can't put deviancy, a man releasing himself in a park bench by himself, watching a little porn on his phone as opposed to, and then you put him under the same umbrella as a man who raping a child. That could never work. You put him on a registry, you know what I mean? You put him on a registry, the same line with a man with raping a child. I madness that come like putting somebody on a traffic light on the same registry as a murderer. That don't make sense. That don't make sense. The punishment had to match the crime. I want to scalp them and hang them up high myself. But, I mean, we have to put away feelings sometimes and stop using emotion to judge everybody because it's something that near and dear to person's heart, and we have to be real with it. Any closing remarks, Sheikh Antonali?
All right, people, all I have to say is please do not rape anybody, man, woman, child. That is what I will say. And I hope everybody have a good weekend. This topic was,
it was a deep one.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I would just say, adults, if it is, something is going on, or your child come to you and they speak to you, please listen. Really and truly, just listen and do what needs to be done to correct the wrong. Do not be afraid. There's no shame. You won't be first, and hopefully we would like for you to be the last. But please,
that's never gonna be last.
That was it. We hope that you might be the last, but please do not be ashamed. Do not be afraid. Speak up and take the correct actions.
Yeah, and they want to deal with them heavy. Yeah, heavy dealings. You see, if it had a heavy dealings in the beginning, it would have saved a lot of people. But humanity, it have a lot of human rights activists and a lot of things that change, and they use that to their advantage. And you buy your harm, sir? Let me talk something. This was a heavy. Let me talk lamb and grog and turkey and thing. And you order up your business, boy. Them boys and them well eat that sandwich, boy. Yeah.
I'm glad that they enjoyed it. I got a lot of positive remarks on it. I'm glad everyone enjoyed it.
And so on a higher note, you don't think anything else before we bust out, yeah? Christmas, you go crazy, boy.
Well, this is a real soca parang, alright? So I want everybody to get together and do
what are you talking about? Not yet.
Lesson, you ready?
What are you talking about? And they have an order in. Why is I saying not yet, but I will?
And the order ham and thing, or you order cake? Which one?
You order cake.
Yeah, when I was saying you have to order ham. You have to order ham earlier. You have to order ham. Well, have a good Easter, you know.
You too. Everybody have a good weekend.
Yeah, man. We good. Well, have a good one. We bust it out, hopefully. The first time all I hear this song, what do you think about? Them ladies still in the backstage like, Andy, what do you think about, boy? All you think about when you hear this song? Anyhow, remember, WhatsApp us at 3468730. Andy, make sure and put your ham order, send it to Chica as soon as this live is over. Right? Although we going in how much love, big up all the whole self. Christmas coming. I'm ready for my ham and my turkey and everything else that comes with it. Blessed love, yeah?